TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Now, did they give you a time period before you'd actually go out there and start working your own singles matches at all? Or?
No, they said that I would work periodically with Sean, probably in the bigger Northeast markets.
Right.
But house shows. Like the first time I think I worked an elimination match in the Garden and won it.
What was that like?
Unbelievable, And Luger was standing next to Vince and Shane, and I saw Luger later on that night, and he said, "They're going to go with you, man." He said they just kept saying, "God, look how big he is! Look how big he is! He's clean! Look how big he is!" Because we'd already been tested back then. I mean, it was we were tested once a month, sometimes twice a day.
Wow.
We do Philadelphia and get tested, and everybody, would think, "Oh, we can smoke now."
Right.
You go into Hershey, and there'd be the piss crew again.
Huh. Anybody ever get busted for that?
Couple guys here and there, but I mean, it was Vince sat us down when the policy came down, and Vince just said, guys, this is a shoot. This is the way it's going to be, and this is what happens. 1,500, 3,000, 5,000, you're gone.
Wow.
And that was it.
Did you see anybody actually get fired from that whole entire deal? Or?
No, because nobody was that stupid.
Right, exactly. It's a lot of money thrown away.
Yeah, nobody was that stupid. I thought Lex was great. Loved traveling with him.
Right.
Good-hearted guy.
As far as today, are you surprised what's happened to him in his private life? Or?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those situations to me, like if somebody would told me in 93 that Lex Luger would be in the situation that he's in right now, I'd be like, there's no way. Because to me, Lex was the Roman Empire. He was,
He had the look and everything.
He had everything. He was articulate. He had business ventures outside the business.
What do you think happened?
I just think that the business is, it's such just a black hole, man. If you just it's just like anything else. It eats some people alive. And I think that the WCW party was pretty strong. I mean, it rivaled anything that I've ever. When that Nitro thing took off, I mean, it was like I couldn't wait to go to TV on Monday for the party.
Right.
It was like we're gonna party like rock stars, and it's gonna start in the minute we get there because Hogan and Randy are gonna have beer in the locker room.
Right.
And it's gonna be woo, and all we got to do is go out and stand. And Hogan's gonna cut a promo for the last 8 minutes of the show, so all we got to do is stand.
Right.
Hold on to the rope, whatever you have to do. We can do whatever we want, and then bail out of there and go, and then just go. And we're in major metropolitan areas, staying on Ted's Dollar in nice hotels.
That's awesome.
So I mean, it was, and I just think that when that we were on the road a lot. Lex and I were on the road traveling together like constantly, and we're still doing about 200 days a year back then. And he hooked up with Liz on the road. And they got into a romance, and I think that they fell in love. And she died, and I think that, she died right in front of him. I couldn't even, and I don't think that he recovered from it, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's my wife died in front of me, and I think it would definitely affect me.
Did anybody know that Liz had a problem at all, or
anybody that was in her inner circle?
Right.
I knew.
Right.
But it's like going to a crack house.
Right.
Look around, everybody, Hey, can I get a rock? We all got a problem. I mean, everybody had a problem.
What are your memories of working with Sid? We just did one with Sid as well last week, and he talked, highly of you.
I loved working with Sid. I mean, we never had great matches per se, like work rate wise, but I think people like to see two giants work. Sid was limited, and I was limited, but Sid did enough things that looked real good, and I did enough things that looked real good. He cut a good he was a great promo, Sid, Scott and I got Sid paid a couple of different times. We brought him in WWF when nobody would touch him.
He told me you got him in WCW again.
And I got him back in WCW for a big contract.
Right.
Because people can say what you want to. Sid's money. He's money. Sid's money.
I think he's going to go back. Maybe they're talking to him now. So
Yeah, he'll draw again.
definitely.
I mean, Sid's money.
Did you have any problems working with him because you guys have the same size and all? No, not at all.
No, because we were friends. So it was always, it was never,
Right.
there was no antagonist there. It was just like, how can we make this the best with both our limitations?
Wow. What do you think were your limitations at the time?
I mean, I came into the business with a bad leg.
Right.
I'd had 9 knee operations before my first match. So, I mean, I was pretty gimped up. So, but I mean, it's like anything else, just you're 6'10", 6'11", just not going to be able to do the things the little guys do. Nor would I want to see, I don't want to see a big guy. I don't want to see Khalid drop kick.
Right. It's true. Or Johnny Ace is the Antichrist up there now. Well, not.
Johnny Ace is too stupid to be the Antichrist.
What are your thoughts on Johnny Ace?
Besides the fact that he's fucking ignorant, I think he's a fucking stooge. This will probably help my employment there. No, I think he's a stooge. I'll just say one thing. He hired the wrong one-legged man. Okay? I mean, I don't have to say anything else.
Right. Memories and thoughts of when Warrior came in before you guys left. What are your thoughts on Jim as a person?
I like Jim.
Right.
He's insane. Fucking nut, but he's drew money, man. He drew money running down the ring, shaking the ropes and doing clotheslines. He drew money.
All right.
Do
you regret any of the things you've done in your past, looking back?
Oh, God, I regret 1,000 things.
Anything that stands out in particular?
Could have been a nicer person, Could have not took as many pills. Could have not, could have opened the door for that old lady in Chicago when we were getting on the rental car and we said, "Fuck her, it's freezing." And there's a lot, there's a lot of things in your life that you do. I mean, yeah, I regret a lot of things. I haven't been the best husband. I haven't always been the best friend. But I like I say, I never got up any morning in my life and said with malice, "I'm going to do something to screw with this guy. I'm going to do something that." There were times that in the course of a day that the friction occurred, and I equate this business to being on a pirate ship. You sleep with one eye open at all times. It's
a good analogy.
This business is just what it is, and if you don't turn somewhat hard and be somewhat aggressive, you'll never make it to the top. I mean, it's just the way the business is. It doesn't take you very long. If you're anywhere, I think the number one thing that you're going to do when you go to any environment is say, okay, what can hurt me? How do I survive? And, however you have to survive. And then once you realize that you can survive, okay, now how can I flourish? How can I become successful? How do I make it to the top? Well, in this business, man, we've always equated to a shark tank. If you're not the biggest, baddest great white, if you're some little lemon shark, that great white's going to bite you in half. So you've got to, and that's just the way it is.
Right.
And I didn't make this business. It was like that before I got in it. So, I mean, but that's just, you get in it and you realize that's the way it's going to be. And, now that I'm at a different point in my career, it's just like that I can't even believe that guy existed. Like I don't look in the mirror and see that guy anymore. I mean, and he's not there. Like I couldn't recreate that. I couldn't be that aggressive again. It's just not there.
I was going to ask you, do you still feel that you could be a big draw in today's world of wrestling, or?
No.
Why is that?
I'm not healthy.
Okay.
I'm not healthy.
How did you?
TitleMatchNetwork.com